Worried that myopia might lead to blindness? We're diving into the real risks of myopia and what you can do to protect your vision. Myopia is when your eyeball grows too long from back to front, which makes things far away out of focus. But did you know that myopia can actually cause more serious complications? When you have high levels of myopia, you can actually have what we call pathologic myopia. That's when you actually have structural problems to the eyeball itself because your eyeball has grown too long. This actually makes you much more prone to getting eye disease. We define high myopia as a prescription of more than about 5 to 6 diopters, or if your eyeball length is more than 26 millimeters. So one major risk is myopia-related macular degeneration. That's when your central vision is actually deteriorating and it can actually lead to vision loss and worst case scenario, blindness. So imagine your macula like a delicate painting. As your eyeball stretches longer, the painting stretches as well, which makes detail blur and colors fade. For those with high myopia, the risk of you getting myopia-related macular degeneration is 40 times more than a person without myopia. Another major risk is retinal detachment. So think of the retina of the eye, which is the inner back lining of the eye, as a wallpaper. As your eyeball stretches, the wallpaper starts to peel off, and that essentially is what retinal detachment is. For people with high myopia, the risk of retinal detachment is 21 times more than a person without myopia. This condition can lead to a sudden loss of vision, and it requires surgery straight away to try and save your vision. So because of some of these eye disease or pathologic myopia, when you have high myopia, you have a much higher risk of getting vision impairment or vision loss. So for example, if your eyeball length is more than 26 millimeters, you get a 1 in 4 chance of having vision impairment by the age of 75. And if your eyeball is more than 30 millimeters, you actually get a 90% of chance of having these conditions. So the longer the eyeball, the higher the chance of these problems. So according to Brian Holden Vision Institute, we expect 50% of the population to have myopia by 2050. That's roughly 5 billion people in the world. Of those 5 billion people, we expect 1 billion to have high amounts of myopia. And because of that, of course, they have a much higher risk of vision loss. So what should you do? Now, it should be very clear by now that myopia isn't just a glasses problem. It does carry a significant risk when it comes to your eye health. So this is what I would do. So number one is to seek proactive myopia management. I can see why myopia can cause stress and anxiety for a lot of people, but if you or your child has myopia, we can't change or reverse that. It's sort of already out of your control. So my suggestion is for you to control what you can control. So what I mean by that is if your eyes continue to get worse or if your child's eyes continue to get worse, you need to seek proactive management to try and slow it down. 2 is having regular eye checks. So a lot of times we can see early signs of macular degeneration or retinal detachment, but we can't detect it if you don't come in for a regular eye check. So for younger kids, we suggest at least once per year when it comes to the eye test minimum, sometimes even more frequent than that. As adults, if you already have high myopia, then again, we suggest every 1 to 2 years. 3rd is to do the eye drop test. So proper eye health checks actually involve using an eye drop test, which dilates the pupil of the eye. So we as eye care professionals can look through the pupil and look into the inside of the eyes in a much easier way. Now the eye drop test can be slightly inconvenient because it does blur your vision for a minimum of a few hours, sometimes for a day or 2, depending on the concentration. Nowadays, there are also what we call ultra-wide retinal scans, which can actually look into the inside of the eyes sometimes without using the eye drop test. So you can actually ask your optometrist or eye care professional whether they have that device. So managing myopia isn't just about getting stronger prescription. It's about protecting your eye health for the future to prevent these serious eye conditions. So don't wait till it's too late. Take action now to make sure you protect you or your child's eyes for the future. So if you found this information helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.